Hello Animorphs fans and welcome back to the Animorphs universe. We're doing AniLysis number 80, we're up to 80 now, and it is on the poison dart frog, or as in the books, the poison arrow frog. One and the same. This one comes only in, sorry for the glare, it's a very glary book, isn't it? Alternamorphs 1, The First Journey, and only in this book, and whether you consider this book canon, I don't. And I don't think many do, if any at all. Different question regarding Alternamorphs 2. But yeah, this one, it's not canon, non-canon. And so this technically is a non-canon morph. But nevertheless, we're covering it. What is the context behind the poison arrow, or I'm going to call it poison dart, because that's what we call them over here. What is the context for the poison dart frog morph? Your parrot morph was successful. You met up with the tribe and escaped the notice of the Hawkbajir, but you need another morph to sneak aboard the Blade ship. In Alternamorphs 1, you end up in the setting for Book 11, The Forgotten. You're in the Amazon rainforest, and in it you've got to get aboard the Blade ship, like they sort of have to do in Book 11, The Forgotten. And so you have to make a choice of which morph to choose to get aboard the Blade ship. And of course, in this scenario, you've chosen the poison dart frog. The thing is here, poison dart frogs are very dangerous. It's in the name, and this is actually brought up in Book 11, The Forgotten. The local people, I guess they wouldn't waste their time using a weapon that didn't work, would they? I said. No, Cassie said flatly. The chances are pretty good that this spear is poison tipped. There are poisonous frogs and plants down here that are used for arrow and spear poison. Very deadly. Very, very deadly. The Hawkbajir are definitely not our only problem. Monstrous insects, beetles the size of your fist, and centipedes as big as rats. And rats as big as poodles. At least they look like rats. And frogs in bright, warning, touch me and die colours. The danger of these creatures is brought up in Book 11, as you heard there. They even call them touch me and die colours. This is a poison dart frog, a red one. They come in all sorts of different colour varieties. I'm sure if you look up on Google, or you may have seen them already, you get all sorts of wacky different colour variations. It is called aposematism. I believe that's the right one. Here we go. I've just brought up the where I got this image from. So you get ones like this wacky looking fella. Here you've got the orange ones. There are golden ones. This one's always been one of my favourites. It looks like something out of the 60s. And then you get these blue ones. They come in all sorts of different colours. Aposematism. It's basically warning colours. It's the opposite of camouflage in a way. Let's bring my picture back up. There it is. Camouflage is where you try to blend into your background so that no predator sees you. Aposematism, which the frogs do, is the opposite. You want to stand out. And why do you want to stand out? Because you are very dangerous. And so you don't want to be mistaken for something that isn't dangerous. If you see what I'm saying. 'Cause, like, predators in the native habitat of the poison dart frog see this thing and think, right, if I eat that, I am dead. So I am not going to eat that. And I can see it from a mile away, so I'm going to stay clear. That is what's going on here. That's why they're so brightly coloured. And it is true, it's where they got their names from. The toxin is used on the arrows for the tribespeople in the Amazon rainforest. They rub the arrowheads on the frogs and it gives them that toxin, because the toxin on these animals is incredibly dangerous. They had them at Dartmoor Zoo when I used to volunteer there years ago. And I learnt how toxic these things are. You know, one frog has enough toxin to kill about 20 people. That's heckin' toxic. And it's deadly to the touch. Okay? So don't go out there handling poison dart frogs. Yeah, touching them just... There are certain types of poison dart frog that it might be dangerous. Just touching them alone probably won't cause you too much bother. But it's then if you rub your eyes or it gets into your bloodstream, like if it enters a cut on your body, you are screwed. You're going to have a bad time. Yeah, but I think there's like one type of poison dart frog that it's so toxic that it'll just get into your sweat pores, and that's enough. So you just don't want to touch it. Don't touch any poison dart frogs, no matter what you do. Clearly, Cassie has told them this as well while they were in the Amazon. Thing is, let's go back to the Morph in this book. Apparently, Cassie didn't tell them then, because the team, with the obvious exception of Tobias, morph the poison dart frog, and that is the morph they use to board or attempt to board the blade ship. The poison arrow frogs are a good cover. With your powerful hind legs, you leap through the rainforest to the site of the blade ship. You lurk underneath a bush, waiting for Tobias's signal. You can see the problem here now, can't you? Alternamorphs. Poison dart frogs. Firstly, for all of them to have been able to capture, well, I suppose it just takes one, but to capture a poison dart frog, it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's not A, B, C. We never get to see that, okay? It just gives you the option. Out of nowhere, you could morph a frog, and then you go to that chapter and you are the frog. We don't even get a morphing sequence for this thing, okay? So we're not having that part of the morph AniLysis. There is no morphing sequence to talk about. But it implies that every single one of these animals has touched a poison dart frog at some point. Presumably just before they decide to morph it, maybe. It's not precise. But even then, Cassie doesn't turn up and say, hold on a minute, just make damn sure that we don't go rubbing our eyes, make sure we're not touching any cuts on our body. Remember that Cassie at the start of book 11, it's probably the same in Alternate... No, it won't be the same in Alternate Wars, but she's launched through the trees after coming out of the bog fighter at the start. So she's probably covered in a lot of abrasions and cuts. But yeah, it's not a problem. They just, off-screen, touch and acquire a poison dart frog, and not one of them has any problems. Nobody, rubs their eyes, their faces, and gets sent to the hospital in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. But let's just ignore that. Let's just say, right, it's Alternamorphs. It's not even canon anyway. So whatever. They morph a poison dart frog. What happens next? Together with the others, you make your way around the ship. Around you, you can hear the Hork-Bajir crashing through the rainforest. Every so often you hear the sizzle of Dracon beams. It begins to rain. You're thirsty, and your frog brain clamours for water. You hop forward and stick out your tongue. The water feels cool. You swallow gratefully. The rain feels good, you say. What rain? Tobias asks. A brownish-greenish creature suddenly detaches itself from a tree. It appears to have no bones, but at the end of its 5 arms are sprinkler-like holes. They are spraying you with water. It is a Beheon, Axe cries. Look out for its... A 3-foot-wide, sticky pink tongue suddenly shoots out of the creature's mouth. It laps you up like cream. You thrash about, but you can't escape as the tongue shoots you backward into the waiting mouth. Frog legs are delicious, Visser 3 says, and slurp, you're finished. And that's it. That's the frog morph. You jump about a bit, and then some new Visser 3 morph slurps you up, and you're dead. That's the frog morph, everybody. That's all we ever see of it. That's all we can say. It gets attacked by this thing called the Beheon, which will probably actually provide a better AniLysis, honestly. So, completely useless. They hop around a bit and die. Thank you very much, frog morph. In fact, I've decided that it's such a good morph, it deserves a reward. I award, for now, the Poison Dart Frog the Honda Jazz Worst Morph of the Series Award. Well done, Poison Arrow Frog. That is how bad you are. Truly, I know it's not canon, so in a separate category of canon and non-canon morphs, but in that category, it probably is the worst morph of the series. In a number of ways. Firstly, the logistics of how they got that morph in the first place. Its longevity. It's how big is the chapter? It's here. So there's the frog chapter. It goes over the page there. That's it. That's the frog. That's it. That's all you get. And just the patheticness of it didn't do anything. They hop around a bit and die. It truly is the most pathetic morph of the series. So, Poison Arrow Frog, I didn't really appreciate your entry into the series. The only thing I must say I appreciate it for is, well, indirectly, it introduces us to a new Vista 3 morph, which we know very little about as well. So, there's that. So, be gone with you, Poison Arrow Frog. Hop along your way. We're going to see what's in AniLysis 81. Let's do it then, shall we? So, every book from 1 to 24, including 24, and Alternatives 1, of course, is in this wheel, and we're now going to see, hopefully, something better than the Poison Arrow Frog morph come up. So, spin away. And, ooh, what are we hoping for? I'm hoping for, let's go for a character, a specific character. Let's go for that, shall we? The Mole. God, Jesus, that's going to be a long one, isn't it? That's what she said. Okay, so the next analysis is going to be on the Mole. There's probably actually going to be quite a lot of information on this. It's going to be interesting to see how many books they actually use them all in, or how many times they go to them all. Yeah, that should be actually, well, it'll be better than the Poison Arrow Frog one. But I am a bit upset, really, because I wanted another couple of small ones just to fill up the schedule. But whatever, I suppose I shall do a bugger load of research again. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and I shall see you for the Mole. And a few other videos along the way. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you somewhere else in the AniLysis universe. Ta-ra.